What's going on, Dragon Ball Super card game fans? I am making a video for a deck that came out in set 3 that is really not a competitive deck, but it's a deck more... It's a lot of fun to play. Actually, I've really enjoyed it. A friend of mine played it for a long time before he passed the deck on to me. And it's really just, it's a lot of fun. It's not, I wouldn't take it to tournaments, but it's, I did get to play, for fun against a guy at would have been a tournament, but we didn't have enough people show up. And it played very, very well, but at like an ARG or like the, celebration tournament I'm going to, I wouldn't play it because it's more of a for fun deck more than serious. But anyway, our leader is Dr. Mew. We're doing Machine Mutants, and so Dr. Mew's ability is that on his unawakened side, you can choose a Machine Mutant with 5,000 power and play it. And then when you awaken by drawing 2, instead of a 5,000 power, you can do a 10,000 power. And so the deck is very centralized around Machine Mutants and bringing them out. So the next thing, I've got 4 Dr. Mew under baby's control. It's a searcher for Machine Mutants. You can check the top 3 cards of your deck for a Machine Mutant, add it to your hand. So next we've got 4 Nat. Nat, when you play, you can add a Bizu from your deck to your hand, which then shows that we have Bizu. And Bizu, when you play this one, you can add a Ribet to your hand. So next we get Ribet. When you play Ribet, Ribet allows you to add a Nezi to your hand. Now Nezi, on the other hand, is a Union Absorb. So if you have a Bizu and a Ribet in your hand or the battle area, you can place those cards underneath this card, and you can choose a Super Sigma from your deck and put it on top of this. If you play this card and your leader is Dr. Mew, you can choose a Nat from your deck and add it to your hand. So the point of getting Bizu and Ribet is that you can do that on turn 1 if you have all the pieces of it, because it does not cost anything to Union Absorb. And this is what you would pull out is Super Sigma. So Super Sigma has double strike, and so place this card in the drop area. You can draw 2 cards, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards. It loses 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. If the battle card falls to 0 or less, KO that card. So you can get rid of that. And next, we have Hidden Ability General Rildo. Now the point of having all those cards in the drop is that General Rildo also Union Absorbs. And you can choose each a Nezi, Nat, Bizu, and Ribet from the drop area, place them under this card, and you can choose a General Rildo with 25,000 power from your deck and place it on top of this card. Then shuffle your deck. So who is Nezi Union Absorbs from a Bizu and Ribet in your hand to the field, but General Rildo Union Absorbs from the drop with a Nezi, Nat, Bizu, and Ribet to play this guy. So now you have General Evolved Hyper Meta Rildo. He's got double strike. When you play this card, you can choose all your opponent's battle cards, and they lose 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. When this card attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 10,000 or less power and KO that card. So that's pretty strong for... this deck is very heavy with getting rid of battle power. The next step up is you can EX Evolve for a red energy cost, the Meta Rildo form perfected. You've got your double strike, and once per turn you can place a Planet M2, which is the field for this deck, from your hand to the battle area into the drop. You draw 2 cards, and you choose your opponent's leader card, and it loses 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. And choose all your opponent's battle cards and lose 10,000 power. So this deck board wipes by depletion of battle power. And then I've got a couple things on the side. I've got some Russian Warrior Pan. She's pretty helpful because if you play her, you can give your red leader or red battle cards 5,000 power, or just one of them, sorry. When you combo with this card from the battle area, you get to draw a card. I've got 4 dependable robot Giru. If you have a Pan on the field, you can play him for free, and he's a blocker. He's also 5,000 power, so Dr. Mew can play him with his ability. I've got 4 power absorbing Lud. I think that's how you say that. If Pan is not underneath this card, it cannot attack. But once per turn, choose a battle card in your drop area and place it under this card, and it gets double strike. 4 Handy Giru super combos. And then 4 Planet M2s. Planet M2 is when this card is placed in the battle area. If your leader is Dr. Mew, you draw a card. Switch this card to rest mode. If it is your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards. It loses 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So, again, I want to just review the combos for this deck real quick so that we're clear on how this works. So the big parts to remember, let me get these pieces out. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So Nat searches out Bizu. Bizu searches out, Rubet. And Rubet searches out Nezzy. Now, you don't need to search out Nezzy if it's already in your hand. And you don't really need to search the other ones out if they're already in your hand. Because if these 3 are in your hand, you can Union Absorb to play Nezzy from your hand. Which means that you take your Rubet and Bizu, place them down, put this card on top. No cost. So then you've got your little package deal right here, and if you happen to have a, when you Union Absorb, you get this guy. Forgot that part. Then the next part's kind of a gamble. If you don't have a General Rildo, but you want to try for it, you can drop this guy to draw 2 cards, and then choose your opponent's battle card and do that. But make sure, before you sack this guy for that, that you combo or find some way to put a Nat into the drop as well. Because when all of those are in the drop, then you can Union Absorb this guy by putting your Nat, your Super Sigma, Nezzy, Rubet, and Bizu all underneath him from the drop, so that you can play your Hyper Meta Rildo on top. Then, if you have 1 red energy, you can EX evolve it by and place 1 card from your hand in the drop. I forgot to read that part. And you can play this guy on top. So, one more time. Nat will give you, find him, Bizu. Bizu will give you Rubet, and then Rubet will search for Nezzy. You Union Absorb to put Super Sigma. Use his ability for the drop. If you have Nat in the drop, you can Union Absorb all of those from the drop for General Rildo, so that you can play General Evolved Hyper Meta Rildo from your deck. You can only play him from your deck. So you gotta make sure you got a few in there. The next piece, pay 1, drop a card, you play that guy. Alright. Enjoy testing the deck. It's a lot of fun. It searches out all the pieces it needs, so you don't have to rummage through and struggle to find all the pieces, because it does that on its own. So, thank you for watching.